Di conseguenza agli atleti, ai tecnici, ai dirigenti, alle società, alle associazioni sportive che portano avanti l'intero movimento ginico. Noi siamo felici di poter fare il tifo poi anche per le azzurre della nostra nazionale. Allora, ritorniamo subito in gara. Si comincia con la finale di specialità alle clavette fra qualche istante dopo questa esibizione che vediamo in pedana. Finale alle clavette, andiamo a vedere la start list. Allora, aprirà la slovena Ekaterina Vedelneva, poi torna in pedana la russa Arina Verina, la bielorussa Lina Arnasco, la bulgara Tatiana Volosanina, la spagnola Polina Beresina, che tra l'altro è l'unica finale per la quale si è qualificata e per la quale ha qualificato una ginnasta. E come facciamo il discorso prima, calcoliamo che nel loro round è 19esima. Esatto, esattamente. Come on, buddy, get with the beat. I'm the king of the swingers, oh, the jungle VIP. I've reached the top and had to stop, and that's what's bothering me.
We'll continue finals competition with clubs and ribbon. Introduce the judges panel. Body difficulty 1, Regina Davidov, Israel. Body difficulty 2, Leonardo Politot, Brazil. Apparatus difficulty 1, Laura Patricia Costa Rodriguez, Mexico. Apparatus difficulty 2, Rika Yamamoto, Japan. Execution artist 1, Yekaterina Yesikova, Kazakhstan. Execution artist 2, Nigar Abdusalimova, Azerbaijan. Execution technical 1, Natalia Rentel, Kyrgyzstan. Execution technical 2, Alexandra Pescu-Pescu, Romania. Execution technical 3, Anna Svirina, Armenia. Execution technical 4, Nevin Sevinch, Demirai, Turkey. Line 1, Catherine Lair, France. Line 2, Anna Teresa Marchetti, Austria. Time judge, Ifimia Ponzido, Greece. Reserve judge, Mikhail Abrovsky, Czech Republic.
Individual clubs final about to get underway. Top qualifier, Arina Averina, second in the order. Sofia Raffaelli, the third strongest performer in qualification, goes 6th. And then we have last up, Dina Averina, the second strongest performer in qualification. We start with Ekaterina Vedelneva of Slovenia. Gymnast whose 6th place finish in the all-around has really helped her cement her chances of World Cup qualification for Tokyo. Sometimes you've just got to sit back and enjoy ballet, haven't you? The classical training is so evident in the work of Vedenieva. I know it's something that I say over and over again, but well, it's something she does over and over again, so it's worth repeating. The fundamentals, the basics, absolutely secure in this hugely experienced gymnast born in Irkutsk in the Russian Federation. Oh, what a lovely line on the attitude pirouette, and then using the à la seconde position into the ring pirouette. That is fine gymnastics. Perhaps a little loss of height of the back leg in the leaps. Now, Vedenieva's in a curious position in terms of Olympic qualification. Really curious, because she received a reallocated place at the World Championships, but because it's a reallocated place, she can also qualify for the World Cup, qualify for the Olympics through the World Cup circuit. If she does the latter, then the reallocated place from the World Championships would go to the next gymnast in line, which is Salome Peshava. So Vedenieva really has a number of options, all of which lead to the Games of the Summer Olympiad and the first Slovenian rhythmic gymnast to do so. 23.35 for her. She's down by half a mark from qualification. Arina Averina of the Russian Federation, the champion with the ball, now competing with the club's top qualifier, 27.65, highest execution, 8.85. Simplest way to judge if there's sufficient amplitude with the apparatus is, can you still see it? And usually with Arina Averina the answer is no, you can't, because it's gone out of our camera shot right up into the rafters of the Gymnastics Sport Palace. Those of you new to rhythmic gymnastics, it's always worth stating that with the clubs you're dealing effectively with two pieces of apparatus at the same time. Not there, because they can be combined to function as one, but they also have to do many different things. Gymnast has got to use the apparatus in varied ways so that both hands are doing different things, and there are suddenly double the number of objects to catch and bring under control. Did put them under control into the backwards walkover with no difficulties. Plenty going on. Bags of difficulty.
The score of Arina Averina, 28.65.
Might be that there was more difficulty than in qualification, you know. Oh, yeah, there was. 19.5 for Arena Averina. Execution 9.15. 28.65 is a huge number. So she's gained about 3/4 of a mark on difficulty and gained 3/10 in execution. That is going to take some serious beating from Arena Averina. Belarus, represented by Alina Harnasko, who secured the bronze medal in the ball competition. The only gold medal that she has won in the World Cup series was with the clubs in Sofia in 2017. She has some splendid work with this piece. 5th strongest in qualification, 24.25.
Cette nuit, intenable insomnie, la folie me guette. Je suis ce que je fuis. Elle me dit, tu paieras tes délits, quoi qu'il advienne. On traîne ses chaînes. Je vends mes nuits à l'assassin folie et au blasphème. J'avoue, je maudis tous ceux qui pleurent les violons de ma vie, la violence de mes envies, symphonie, symphonie. Je noie mon ennui dans la mélomanie. Je tue mes phobies dans la désharmonie. Je vends mes nuits à l'assassin folie. J'avoue, je maudis tous ceux qui s'aiment.
The origins of the sport of rhythmic gymnastics lie not just in dance, but in performance as well, in theatricality. You look at people like Émile Jacques Dalcroze, François Delsart, Georges Domini, Isadora Duncan. And Harnasko is the embodiment of a performer, not simply a dancer. There is character, there is effervescence to what she does. Stable penché turns. If you really are keen on your history of performance art and interested in going back to look at some of the origins of this sport, well, starting with the Eurythmics movement to Hellerau, led by Adolphe Appiah and Émile Jacques Dalcroze, would be a great place to do it. Most interesting, a brand new artistic movement for Europe, founded in the early part of the 20th century.
56.55.
26.55 for Harnasko. She finds herself in the provisional silver medal position. She goes up by over 2 marks from qualification. Bulgaria's impressive new prospect, Tatiana Volozhanina, competes for the Levski Iliana club in Sofia. 6th strongest in qualifying. if you're new to watching rhythmic gymnastics, a question to ask yourself, and indeed in all gymnastics, is when looking at gymnasts who are turning, who are pirouetting, has the turn come to an end, or has the gymnast decided the turn has come to an end? Volozhanina falls into that latter category. She stops turning when it is time for her to stop turning. She never seems to fall out of the turn. She makes it part of the choreography to escape the turn, rather than that sense almost of a potter's wheel just slowing down. For her, the intensity is maintained until the sequence finishes. This is perhaps the greatest example in her penché turns, which are just lovely. The toe point well maintained. A shame we didn't get to see how she exited that, because it was in many ways the finest part of the sequence. Looks as though the routine maybe slightly lost its way just towards the end. But nonetheless, this is an exciting athlete and one of considerable promise. Tatiana Volozhanina began training at 6 in Irkutsk in the Russian Federation, moved to Bulgaria in 2015 with her family, started competing for them in 2017.
24.5.
It's 24.5 for Volozhanina, and she is in third position. She's jumped up by over half a mark from qualification. So at the halfway mark then, we have Arina Averina, Helena Hanesko, Tatiana Volozhanina. We've already seen the Spanish group. A chance now to see a gymnast who is campaigning for Olympic qualification. Polina Berezina of Spain, the 7th strongest in qualification. She won her 3rd national championship last year. Now, you can't go wrong if you take ballet and you blend it with classical Irish step dancing, can you? Maybe it's just the part of the world that I'm from, but that's a lovely routine, actually. May seem like an unusual choice for a Spanish gymnast to be using Celtic music, but actually, if you really listen to a lot of music from particularly the north of Spain, there's a wonderful overlap of Celtic music traditions, and actually a lot of the music of northern Spain uses similar pipe and bagpipe orchestration. It's a great overlap, actually, among the Celtic musical nations. Just had a bit of difficulty with the apparatus towards the end, but it was a nice blend of choreography. Did work some clear features of Irish step dance into the routine. 23-year-olds, very experienced.
Score of Paulina Berezina, 20
Clubs
points,
tends to be
65.
where she features when in World Cup finals. Does occasionally make ribbon finals as well. 20.65 for Berezina. Down by 3 marks and then some from qualification. Well, she isn't having a bad World Cup career so far, the 16-year-old, Sofia Raffaelli. This is where it all started. With the clubs in Sofia, she took a silver medal, third strongest in qualification. They are a little bit excited by Sofia Raffaelli in Italy. They have been a little bit excited for some time. Speaking to Italian rhythmic gymnastics fans over the years, the last few years, there's been lots of, oh, we've got a great junior coming through. You're going to be surprised and excited by what she's all about. And how lovely it is when you see a junior inhabit a senior space with such confidence. And again, one goes back to the origins of rhythmic gymnastics and some of the innovative dancers that were working in the early part of the 20th century and just what an impact they had. They were innovators, and she also is innovative and memorable. Lovely stability going into the back bend position. Shanae turns clean and tidy. One of the most fundamental moves of rhythmic gymnastics and of ballet. But one engages with the narrative when watching Sofia Raffaelli. Does her score engage with the podium? She said she felt so many emotions just being in Sofia at the World Cup. Couldn't believe that she was competing alongside these experienced competitors and then subsequently beating a lot of them too. Should also point out about Raffaelli that it's not just that her parents are huge classical music aficionados. Her mother also is a most accomplished ballet dancer. This is a young lady who is a student of music, musicology, a student of dance. And it all comes out on the competition floor.
The score of Sofia Raffaelli, 26 points.
Third place at the moment for Raffaelli, it's 26 dead on. So she's gone up by almost half a mark from qualification, and the bulk of that going into the execution. So there are two to go. Arina Averina is definitely on the podium. What of Arnasco and Raffaeli? We go to Kristina Poronichna of Ukraine, the 17-year-old from Lviv. Youth Olympic Games all-around silver medalist in Buenos Aires. First chance we've had to see her at international level for some time. That's what in technical terms is known as a toe tapper of a routine. Kristina Poronichna back in international competition. All-around gold medal at the Junior European Championships in 2018. That wonderful 2018 that she had, culminating in her success at the Youth Olympic Games. She's a gymnast who is well known for her butterfly with the clubs. She did, unfortunately, lose the apparatus. Fourth strongest in qualification with 24.4 was Poronichna. Actually started in ballroom dancing rather than ballet dancing. 21.3 for Poronichna. Execution of 6.6, and she's lost a couple of marks of difficulty as well from her performance in qualification. Poronichna down in 6th position. We have one more competitor to go. It is Dina Averina next, the last contender for the club's title. It is Arina who leads with an enormous 28.65 score. Now, Dina had the highest difficulty in qualification with 19. Arina has bettered it by half a mark in the final. So over to Dina Averina. We've got a contest here. the judges for this one. Dina Averina throwing everything at that routine, as you might expect. World champion with the clubs in 2019. So I look back at this final performance in the club's final. That nice little touch of putting in some choreography before going into the catch, almost signposting to the judges, I am that in control of the apparatus that I can cross my arms and then uncross them and still catch it. Because the code of points stipulates that the gymnast must not be waiting for the apparatus to come down and reaching well in advance. They've got to time the catch, as she does there on 2 occasions as well. Can't just have outstretched arms. Oh, that chaîné turn sequence. It's just technically absolutely bang on. Well, the number 2 attack is 28.65.
The score of Dina Averina, 28.15.
I think you heard the number come in there. 28.15 for Dina Averina. Close, but not quite. It's the silver medal. Wasn't able to add any difficulty. The execution went up massively, though, to 9.15 from the 8.4 she received in qualification. It was very sharp. Same execution as Arena, but Arena found that extra half a mark of difficulty. The classified results in the individual clubs competition. The bronze medal to Alina Harnasko of Belarus, the silver medal to Dina Averina of the Russian Federation, and the gold medal to her teammate and twin sister Arina Averina. A repeat of the top 3 in the ball competition. Let's have a look back at the best moments of this club's final.
We start finals with ribbon.
The last individual final is the ribbon competition. We get underway with home gymnast Sabina Tashkenbayeva. Hanasko, the second strongest qualifier, goes third. Dina Averina, top qualifier, goes fifth. And Anastasia Salos, third strongest qualifier, is the penultimate gymnast. Sabina Tashkenbayeva's good work is happening in our non-televised competition, the all-around, the qualification, where she is leading the race for a Tokyo 2020 berth. What can she do to put the icing on the cake here in this ribbon final? Fifth strongest in qualification. Having a very fine year as a gymnast, Sabina Tashkenbayeva.
Sabina Tashkenbayeva, Uzbekistan.
Performing to Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. Well, they know a lot about diamonds in the city of Tashkent, a Silk Road city. The earliest diamonds were identified or discovered, mined in the 4th century BC. And so many of those very early diamonds were actually transported right along the Silk Road through Tashkent. Massive trading route. Everybody a little more interested in heading east on the Silk Road and seeing what bronze, silver and gold they can find, though. Tashkenbayeva has positioned herself well for that. She picked up 42 points. No, she didn't. She picked up 45 points in Sofia. I've just made up a score there that you can't get in the World Cup qualification. And she picked up 45 points here as well, putting her on 90. Gymnasts can discard one of the 4 World Cup events. That's if they choose to compete at all 4 of them. But Tashkenbayeva just needs another similar performance in Baku or Pesaro, and she is essentially on the plane to the Summer Olympiad. Her hero is Oksana Chusovitina, wonderful artistic gymnast who to make history by being the oldest gymnast to compete at the Olympic Games. She takes to the competition floor in Tokyo. And they won medals together at the Islamic Solidarity Games in 2017. Tashkenbayeva took a silver and 2 bronze medals in that competition in the National Gymnastics Arena in Baku, Azerbaijan. And that is where the next Rhythmic Gymnastics Cup event is due to take place. It's scheduled to be on the 9th of May. 17.85 for Tashkenbayeva. virtually 3 full marks from qualification. But as mentioned earlier, her focus really is on the all-around and the qualification process for these finals. That's what's determining the Olympic spots. Second chance for us to look at the work of Krystyna Poloniczna of Ukraine. 6th strongest in qualification, 20.45. From Rimsky-Korsakov to the James Bond theme and back again. Krystyna Poloniczna. She does work at considerable pace, and that's really hard to do, especially with the ribbon. It's a more unwieldy and unpredictable apparatus. It can lose time in flight, gain time in flight, depending on how you're looking at it. You can lose time because it gains time. It can drift in the air. And she did have a moment where the ribbon just did not behave itself. Lovely leaps. One expects a Ukrainian rhythmic gymnast to know how to get through a leap sequence. Nicely controlled unsighted catch there.
The score of Krystyna Poloniczna, 18.1.
Going to be a battle though for Poloniczna to maintain her qualification score of 20.45. For the young Ukrainian. So she is in the lead, but with 6 to go.
Please welcome Alina Harnatska, Belarus.
Next to take to the competition floor is Alina Harnatska of Belarus. The second strongest performer in qualification. Has already taken 2 bronze medals this weekend. What can she do in terms of the ribbon final? Sets herself very deliberately and carefully. This is a complex opening. 22.15 in qualification. dynamism with the ribbon, variety with the ribbon, shape with the ribbon. To return again to Émile Jacques Dalcroze and the Eurythmics movement of the early 20th century. One of the things that so many of these pioneering choreographers
נשמה, אנשים עובדים פה.
theatre practitioners
תגיד.
did was to codify the idea that musicality should be reflected in three-dimensional space, that you should be able to see the music. And in what she does with the ribbon, you see the changes of orchestration. When different instruments come in and take center stage aurally, so the ribbon changes visually. It is clever use of the apparatus. That's a very difficult trap that's being attempted right at the end of the routine. It's possibly custom made.
The score of Alina Harnasko, 22.75.
Yeah, she's happy with that one. That's a jump up from qualification, 22.75. The execution, 8.45. That's where the marks have been gained. 7.85 in qualification, difficulty the same.
Елизавета Полстяная,
A contending score, no doubt about that, from
Please
Harnasko.
welcome Елизавета Полстяная, Latvia.
The Latvian gymnast Elizaveta Polstyanaya is the fourth to go in this ribbon final. Made her World Championship debut in Baku in 2019, where she will head next in the World Cup circuit to continue her quest for a place in Tokyo. She was seventh in the ribbon competition in Kazan in 2019. We're seeing some big orchestration and some big performances too.
Елизавета Полстяная, Latvia.
Polstyanaya looking delighted with her work there. Gymnast who has loved her first time competing in Tashkent. She was a Russian citizen until 2018 when she took Latvian citizenship. Really has developed a lot in the last couple of years. Had to travel quite rapidly to make sure the ribbon didn't fall. It was disguised as well as it could have been. Applies the back bend into her leaps. Catch behind the back. Adds difficulty. Just a little bit of a hop and a skip coming out, perhaps, of the ring pirouette if one is being particularly assiduous.
20.65.
But it looked a little bit sharper than her performance in qualification. Judges in agreement, 20.65 for Polszczyna. So she's up by almost 3/10 from her qualification performance. As things stand, Polszczyna is in the silver medal position, Poloniczna in the bronze. Alina Harnasko occupies gold, but for how much longer? It is the turn of Dina Averina. We still have to come Raffaeli and Salos. We don't have Arina Averina in this final. She was 38th in the ribbon qualification. Top qualifier, 22.35 Dina Averina, but she'll need to improve upon it. Well. There was a problem early on in the routine for Dina Averina. Most palpably, it's offset against the high degree of difficulty, as always. It does mean this is going to be most intriguing in terms of where it falls in relation to Harnasko's 22.75. Let's have a look back at this display from Dina Averina. Just had the slightest of wobbles in the pirouette. There, coming out of the chalet turn, the ribbon just seemed to drift. Like it caught her a little bit unawares. Using there the boomerang throw. Now the ribbon cane gets pulled back to the gymnast. The apparatus functions in reverse effectively. Her reaction afterwards quite telling, perhaps. Fans delighted to get the opportunity to watch Dina Averina in competition. Just one of those gymnasts that gets an enormous function everywhere she goes. Along with the artistic activities that she and her sister were doing in quarantine, they also started growing a tree, apparently. Now, is this going to be a fruitful affair when the score comes in from the judges? She did win the ribbon gold at the Moscow Grand Prix earlier this year. wait that we've had actually for a number to come in. Showing her great appreciation for the crowd in the Gymnastics Sport Palace.
21.5.
It's 21.5 for Dina Averina, so Harnasko stays in the gold medal position. What that means is that we are not going to have a Russian gold in the ribbon competition. The door is ajar. Harnasko stands blocking it at the moment for the rest. But still to come, some real contenders. Is Sofia Raffaelli one of them? Fourth strongest in qualification with 21.55. She got a bronze medal with the ribbon at the World Cup in Sofia a few weeks ago. Ourselves a ribbon final. Sofia Raffaelli performing with remarkable composure once again. Taken to training every day by her grandfather. A 100-kilometre round trip to Fabriano. She trains alongside Alexandra Giorgio-Kulesi and Milena Baldassari. Almost an element of the Giorgio-Kulesi tornado turn, those whirlwind arms that she uses to such stylish effect. Raffaelli just using the single arm. I wonder if it's just a little nod to the senior competitor. Can't not learn from your contemporaries when they're contemporaries that are that good. This is a remarkable moment, though. That little boomerang throw. 22.1. I say little, it's a huge boomerang throw. It works really nicely. It's got to be in contention, hasn't it? 22.1, Raffaelli in the silver medal position. 8.4 execution. As the difficulty grows, watch out, everyone. So, 2 to come. It means that we have Harnasko in the gold medal position. Raffaelli, silver. Dina Averina, bronze. Anastasia Salos, the third strongest in qualification. 21.75 was her score. Ribbon silver medalist in Sofia. Well, she was a little bit at 6s and 7s at the start of that routine, but what a recovery from Salos. Now, it is going to undoubtedly be really costly, the difficulties at the start, but we saw the composure and intelligence of the young gymnast to rescue the routine. It just reminds us of what complexity there is when trying to work with the ribbon. Had to really travel far to get that under control, really had to hop through her turns. And then, maybe having recovered from that, the adrenaline perhaps, who knows, just led to a little loss of control. Then the control came back. That's a difficult and well-executed skill. Code of points mandates that there must be real variety to the pattern work of the apparatus. She had to adjust her position just to be sure of that catch at the end. But there were plenty of varied patterns in the ribbon. Does it contend?
The score of Anastasia Salas, 21.35.
Almost for Salos. Fourth place, 21.35. 10th and a half behind Dina Averina. The Russian just manages to survive for now on the podium. Arnasko guaranteed at least a silver medal. Raffaelli guaranteed another medal. One competitor to go. It is the 17-year-old gymnast from Kiev, Victoria Onoprienko. Yet to secure a World Cup medal. She was the 7th strongest in qualification with 20.45. Once again, the ribbon proving itself to have a life and a mind of its own. Some really bold moments in Onoprienko's work. Some very stylish gymnastics. Had a couple of sequences where she really showed a rapidity in traversing the space. Other moments where the control just wasn't quite there. I mean, those rolls at the start really were fast. turn sequence of the Tour Chaînée du Boulet, to use the name originally given to it in 1897. French for chain, as you can see ably demonstrated by Onoprienko. So there's the final individual score to come in. We shall then have the group mixed apparatus competition. Reminder that the number to beat is the mark set by Alina Handasko of 22.75, Raffaelli 22.1, Dina Averina 21.5. Those are the medal numbers with this last score to come in. Wait for Onoprienko.
The score of Victoria Onoprienko, 8.65.
The number is in. It is 18.65 for Onoprienko, and it will not trouble the leaderboard. It has her in 6th position. The classified results in the individual ribbon competition: the bronze medal to Dina Averina of the Russian Federation, the silver to Italy's Sofia Raffaelli, and the gold medal to Alina Handasko of Belarus.
We start group finals, 3 hoops and 2
Just a
pair of
second
flags.
ever World Cup gold for Handasko.
Gilemge O'zbekiston jamoasi taklif qilinadi.
Almost 4 years.
Please welcome Team Uzbekistan.
To the group competition, the mixed apparatus, the 3 and the 2. We start with Uzbekistan, the 3rd strongest qualifiers. We see Belarus 4th in the order as the 2nd best performers in qualification. They are immediately followed by Israel, the top qualifiers. Armed with 3 hoops and 2 pairs of clubs. Uzbekistan with Dinara Ravshanbekova, Kamola Ilnazarova, Ksenia Alexandrova, Nilufar Shumuradova and Sevara Safoeva. Already the all-around and the single apparatus champions. What more from them? an able demonstration of the challenges working with the multiple apparatus from Uzbekistan and how to surpass those challenges more to the point. Had some lovely rebound passes with the hoops, I should say. Really did establish some creative work, particularly in the latter portion of the routine. Again, those of you watching the sport for the first time or the first time in a while, because the composition of the group apparatuses changes every couple of years, every few years in the case of this particular cycle. Just bear in mind that we've got 7 different things flying around the space now, and hoops and clubs just behave totally differently. Requires extraordinary adjustment from the gymnast. You may have just seen there before the fouette turn sequence a little bit of an overshoot on one of the passes. And that's the challenge that faces all of these gymnasts when they are not in control of the receipt of the apparatus and the pass of the apparatus at the same time, generally speaking. Lovely rebound pass that, followed by this little sequence to finish off the whole routine. Some good rebounds.
For Team Uzbekistan, 37.7.
Certainly better than qualification and considerably in the eyes of the judges. 37.7 to their 35.15 in qualifying. Execution considerably better.
Please welcome Team Turkey.
Well, they won the Asian title in the 3 and 2. Now we go to the nation that won the European title in the 3 and 2. Turkey, with Azra Akuncu, Edarasa, Peribakar, Tugo Doğan and Ni Karabina. 5th strongest in qualification. They were 8th in the mixed apparatus in Sofia. They've already demonstrated that they're looking better here in Tashkent. Can they deliver the kind of performance that secured them the European title in Kiev? certainly many of the fine features that saw them take the European title in Kiev, but perhaps just too many losses and retrievals in order to retrieve any medals in this particular competition from Turkey. A little bit of a mixed day at the office for them. Would be a big surprise if the number that comes in is sufficient to trouble the lead set by Uzbekistan. So let's look back at the work of Turkey in this mixed apparatus final. Just struggling on some occasions to get the trajectory right, leading to some losses of the apparatus. Always very apparent if synchronization goes in a fouette turn sequence. It's a very exposing skill for the gymnast. There was one of the moments, there were a couple of them, when the apparatus was lost. Nearly, very nearly for Turkey, but not quite on that occasion. The scoring qualification was 30.6. As I said earlier, that was the 5th strongest performance. Turkey will be eyeing the continental qualification spots at the forthcoming European Championships.
31.25.
So for Turkey, it's 31.25. The execution, 5.55. They're a little bit up from qualifying by about half a mark, but not enough of a jump to realistically challenge for one of the top spots one suspects. Uzbekistan far and away leading this one, the 2 of the 8. Ukraine are next to perform. Diana Baeva, Marila Bodnarchuk, Darina Duda, Yeva Melishchuk, Anastasia Wozniak and Maria Vysochanska are their squad of 6. 8th strongest in qualification. It certainly is a crowd pleaser, that one, isn't it? As a routine, just about managed to get that through for the finish. Some nice moments of choreography that really suit the orchestration.
Team Ukraine.
Now there is opportunity for this to really grow in terms of its score. 24.45, that's all in qualification. 20.8 for difficulty, a 4.25 for execution. There really were many issues that Ukraine faced in the qualification process. It looked a better performance, maybe by some way. Just about rescued that as the gymnast dived through the hoop. It just seemed to flick it with her foot, leading to an awkward rescue catch. Good rebound passes. Quite a few adjustment steps here and there. Imprecision on the trajectory of the passes. Not imprecise there, though, in the turns. Difficult there to perform that sort of turn and work over the apparatus as it's on the ground.
The score of Team Ukraine, 32.3.
That's a massive change. 32.3 for Ukraine. They go up by almost 8 marks from qualification and go into the silver medal position. Big improvement. Encouraging work from Ukraine. Uzbekistan still lead. Now, for how much longer? The next two groups are going to administer a challenge. Belarus, 3 and 2 gold medalists at the European Games of 2019, the second strongest performers in qualification. Their squad of 6, Hanna Hajdukovic, Anastasia Malanova, Anastasia Rybakova, Hanna Schreiber, Irina Tsitsilina and Karina Yarmolenko. Bombastic and bedazzling the work of Belarus. Did it have the necessary control? Some really bold and powerful gymnastics going on there. Lots and lots of difficulty. It's going to take something rather splendid to displace Uzbekistan at the top of the leaderboard. Was that it? Belarus just missed out, taking a silver medal in the single apparatus. Difficult sequence there to pass the 3 hoops. It was controlled well. Lots of detail. Just a little bit out of sequence in the fouette position.
Love is miserable. I think I'll be a bachelor after. I won't find.
But one has got to admire the intensity of that work.
The score of Team Belarus, 38.65.
They've gone into the lead, 38.65. Belarus displace Uzbekistan at the top of the leaderboard.
Please welcome Team Israel.
The reward for the gambles they took in that routine, it has paid off. They now have the challenge to contend with of Israel. Ukraine is still in the bronze medal position, but their time in that position might not last a great deal longer. 4 to go. The first is Israel. Their squad of 6 is Shai Ben Ruby, Ofir Dayan, Yama Kramarenko, Natalie Reitz, Yulia Telagina, and Karina Vexman. Top qualifiers. pop anthems, but most notably Toxic by Britney Spears. They definitely were in the zone, weren't they, Israel, for the vast majority of that routine. However, there was a complication just towards the conclusion of their display. It was a complication they dealt with, but it will carry with it numerical complication. What a lovely start that is, with all four clubs together creating the void for the gymnast to pass through. Great imagination. There's some fine originality to this routine. The gymnast assessed on two types of difficulty: apparatus difficulty and body difficulty. It's a similar sort of story for the deductions, artistic deductions and execution deductions. The technical side of things also important, along with the artistic side of things. Judges with a great deal to contemplate in a group routine. They don't get the luxury of the replays as we get to enjoy them.
Team Israel, 30C, 34.95.
The score for Israel is 34.95. They sit in third position.
Please welcome Team Mexico.
Belarus, followed by Uzbekistan, followed by Israel. 34.95 is the mark to surpass to make it onto the podium. Once again, it's an enticing prospect for Mexico. Silver medalists at the Pan American Games in Lima in 2019, mixed apparatus. Adriana Hernandez and Karen Villanueva were part of that group, joined by Sofia Flores, Andrea Gaza, Sara Ruiz and Aderem Tejeda in the squad of 6 that Mexico have sent to this competition. cohesive group, they're an entertaining group. Are they a contending group?
Introducing the team, Andrea Garza, Adriana Hernandez, Sara Rus, Ederem Tejeda, Karen Villanueva.
Team Mexico.
Very much Japan-focused music, isn't it? They certainly have got the Olympics on the brain because they are still aiming for continental qualification. Let's look back at some of the finest moments in this Mexico group routine. Nice rebound pass with a little adjustment step to control the catch. Quite secure in their dynamic balance sequence. Difficult to make those illusion turns really work in synchronization. Just about managed that catch at the end. Almost let the club fall. They wait with anticipation. 30.95 in qualification, the fourth strongest mark. 5.85 execution score.
The score of Team Mexico, 32.65.
It's an improvement. It's a big improvement, but it's not big enough. 32.65 Mexico in fourth position, adding well over a mark to their execution score. Just not quite able to displace Israel, who are still in the bronze medal position for the time being. 2 to go. The 6 strongest performers in qualification, Kazakhstan. Their squad of 6, Alina Chernyshova, Janerke Daletkulova, Sagina Muratkizi, Aysulu Murgazalieva, Daria Sharafidinova, Diana Shayakmatova. Group from Kazakhstan.
Представляем команду. Алина Чернышова,
of
Сагина
Uzbekistan.
Муратказы, Айсулу Мурзагалиева, Дарья Шарафиденова, Даяна
It's
Шаяхметова.
not much of a
Team
cross
Kazakhstan.
over the border into Tashkent, which is right by the border with Kazakhstan. But that tempered by the enormous size of Kazakhstan as a nation, the largest landlocked country on earth. And a performance here, one suspects, from the Kazakhstan team that allows them to depart with perhaps a greater sense of pride than maybe their previous display. Just some moments where they nearly got a little bit entangled in the apparatus, but managed to deal with it. Little regrasps, readjustments with the apparatus, such as there, for example, resetting going into the double past the hoop and the big move across to catch it, will all carry incremental execution deductions. And it's that sort of reason that leads to there being so much opportunity for execution deduction in a group routine. Kazakhstan's execution in qualification was 5.8. Their difficulty 19.9.
The score of Team Kazakhstan, 27.6.
27.6 for Kazakhstan has them in 7th place. They've jumped up by 1.9 marks in qualification. That's significantly better than their performance in the 5 balls final. And so we arrive at the final performance of this weekend of Olympic qualification rhythmic gymnastics World Cup action, albeit not Olympic qualification for the groups. It will be Spain, 7th strongest in qualification. Their group of 6 gymnasts is Ana Arno Camarena, Inés Bergua Navales, Valeria Marquez, Patricia Perez-Foss. far greater control of the apparatus this time at the conclusion of their routine. The apparatus this time in their hands. They did have, unfortunately, problems earlier on in the routine. Lost control of the apparatus at one point. But again, we must temper this with the fact that these are very young gymnasts, very new gymnasts to senior international group competition. They've got to be given time to develop. Lovely starting position, really creative, really striking. Nice bit of partnership there. And they manage the choreography well. There's a sense of effervescence about them. It's just that the apparatus did not comply. They will, even as young gymnasts, doubtless be aware of names like Marta Baldo, Nuria Cabanillas, Estela Jimenez, Lorena Gurendez, Tania Lamarca and Estibaliz Martinez. They will know the legacy of group success, and that can carry with it a mighty sense of expectation, a mighty sense of pressure, especially in a nation that loves this sport.
The score in Spain. So
they have good as a group. Encouraging seeing the way they support each other and the way they discuss things afterwards and stand quite united. They score 31.5. And they are in 6th position at the conclusion of this competition. So the classified results in the mixed apparatus group competition. Israel taking the bronze medal, Uzbekistan, the host nation, the silver, and it's gold for Belarus. Second gold medal for them. One in the group, one in the individual. So a strong day for rhythmic gymnastics in Belarus. A strong day indeed for the host nation too, Uzbekistan. Coming away with that impressive performance in the group competition. The all-around gold and then a gold and a silver in the apparatus finals. We're going to bring you the victory ceremonies in just a moment in the clubs, ribbon and group mixed apparatus events. And a chance now to look back at the finest moments of this group mixed apparatus final.